Your tap water might be killing you even if you're not drinking it. And it's imperative for us to understand how that's even possible, but just think for 1 second about the tap that goes into your house and what you're using it for. Because a lot of people made decisions a couple of years ago that they were gonna stop drinking tap water because they didn't trust it. But they still cook in it, they still wash their vegetables in it, they still bathe in it, they still shower in it, they still give it to their pets. And most people don't even really know how compromised the water coming into their house is. This isn't me slamming on public utilities because they're doing the absolute best they can in the middle of a crisis. What we've got going on right now is as groundwater reserves continue to shrink, they're under intensified pressure from the leaching of micro and nanoplastics into the environment and for the buildup of forever chemicals, which are called forever chemicals because they're forever chemicals, okay? These chemicals that we're hearing about all the time build up in our bodies, and they have numerous side effects to them that range from infertility to autoimmune deficiencies, cancers, Alzheimer's, you name it. We're dealing with an awful lot of different kinds of accelerations of diseases, especially diseases that affect people's minds. We've just launched a brand new tap water database, and we want to be able to help you if you're in the United States, and we'll keep working on countries around the world as we go along. But if you're in the US and you want to understand what's in your tap water, then make sure and hit the link below, fill out the little microform, and within 24 to 48 hours, you're going to get an in-depth view of what's going on in your tap water. Now you're gonna get a generalized view the minute that you hit that button, but the real report and answers associated with what you can do to respond to what you're dealing with will be helpful and insightful and give you some really good direction. Think about it like this. If we've got tap water coming into our house and we made the decision, hey, I'm not going to drink tap water that's not filtered, then we've opened up a whole series of different problems. And one of the solutions to that in North America, because we're quick fix people generally, is gee whiz, let's just go out and buy water in plastic bottles that have tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, in some cases in measurements, millions of nanoplastic shards in them that are destroying our minds, our bodies, and our environment. And once that water bottle is thrown out in the trash, even if it was lucky enough to be one of the 4% of pieces of plastic that ever make it into a recycling center, it's going to have a degradation period of somewhere between 450 and 1,000 years of destroying the environment and the generations that follow us. It's really an incredibly stupid idea. And it's a stupid idea that's going to bring with it a whole series of different kinds of class action lawsuits, some of which have just started against the major corporations that are just pretending and ignoring that plastic is killing their customers and destroying the planet. But hey, I guess if they can get a better margin, it's all fair game, right? So what we wanted to do is make sure that you've got the best information that you possibly can on the areas that you have influence over. Listen, we can control what's in our sphere. We can apply greater control through meditation and prayer about what's outside of our sphere. But the good place to start is with what you have control over. And this tap flowing into your house is actually one of the most amazing luxuries in all of the world. If you think about 2.4 billion people on this planet right now that would think that they had died and gone to heaven if they could walk over to a tap and turn it on and anything came out of it, then we have to start in a completely different place in North America with a perspective of gratitude. But by the same token, we want to understand what's bringing the water into our house. And we're dealing with miles and miles and miles of outdated and antiquated piping that comes from the public utilities. So the water tests that they do, even if you've got access to them, and by the way, you can access them online if you look up your public water utility or your private water utility. Unfortunately, that's the way some of this is going to go, but you would be able to get their reports. The problem is there's a huge difference between what they report and what comes out of this tap. And it's not because they're lying or falsifying documentation. It's because that water's got to travel through all of these corridors of pipes, some of which are now over 100 years old and degrading. So the last report that I had an opportunity to see, somebody got in touch with us from the Santa Monica area, was that there was incredibly heavy levels of lead and arsenics, HAA5, which is an organic reaction to chlorine interfacing with organic material in water, and oxygen that creates a cancer-causing agent. Those numbers generally are through the roof. If you live in different parts of the country, let's say you're in one of the Rust Belt cities, you're dealing with a lot of heavy metals and especially leads in those areas. If you're in rural areas, you're dealing with all of the issues associated with agricultural runoff. But we can't have our head in the sand with regard to this. And if you're a person that doesn't believe in quick fixes, then you've really come to the right place. Because we're not proposing a quick fix, we're proposing a lifestyle change where you have an opportunity to get in front of this, where you have an ability to be able to clean your own water, make your own water, restructure it, and know that it's really safe. Instead of just slapping a filter up somewhere and thinking, gee whiz, well, that's taken care of, what's next? Guys, plastic is not going to save us from plastic. Polymembrane filters that can't stand up to chlorine, all of the issues associated with the housing, the expenses of them, the expense of the installation, and one of the greatest expenses that's coming down the road, especially if you've got reverse osmosis systems or you're thinking about one, is wastewater. Those puppies are pushing 2 gallons out at best of wastewater for every gallon that they produce for you in the house. Some of them are wasting between 10 and 12 gallons of water. And with the prices of sewer water skyrocketing, you have to make sure, not just from an environmental and health perspective, but also from a wealth perspective, that you are not stuck in some stupid quick fix water solution that is going to skyrocket your costs and eventually destroy your health. It's one of the other problems with filters, and why you have to understand what's going on in the water that you're getting out of your tap. When we do water tests around here, I can't believe what we're taking out of 1 gallon of water with the I Drink Living water kits and systems. And I think about filters the size of a loaf of bread and think to myself, I would have to change this filter once every 2 days in order for it not to be completely contaminated and plugged with the sludge that's coming out of these taps. Okay, so make sure you get all of the basic information that you need specific to your zip code by hitting the link below. Answer the 3 questions: your zip code, your first name, and your email address. You're going to get a detailed view on what's coming through your tap and what you can do to make sure that you are safe for eating, for drinking, for bathing, for showering, for washing, and for giving water to your cat or dog or budgie. Okay, so make sure and hit the link below. And thanks for sticking with me, especially if you're a person that isn't really into quick fixes. Because at I Drink Living Water, we weren't really ever interested in a quick fix. What we wanted to do was spend years researching what the best solution is. Because the best solutions sometimes require some lifestyle change. Sometimes they require a bit of an adjustment in the way that we live. But convenience is killing us. And it's better for us to take charge of our water, have a decentralized solution that's not dependent on utilities and governments, and something that you know is going to keep you, your family, your neighbors, your customers, wherever you happen to be, the constituency that you have some influence over needs to hear this message. So make sure and like, link, subscribe, join into us. Oh, check out the new cryptocurrency project for water DeSci and our website. It's just been completely revamped. And make sure and get your water report. Thanks for listening in to the ever-changing world of water.